Hello everyone, welcome. It is like 1 a.m. Let me check. It's literally like 12:56 in the morning right now, and I'm recording a video. Ta-da, amazing, wow. Really wanted to quickly just record a video on why I ended up choosing Brown University, because I'm going there right now. I mean, I'm at home. I'm doing virtual learning, Zoom University, you know, all that jazz or whatever. I committed to Brown University after applying to 26 colleges and getting into 24. If you haven't seen my college decision reaction video, you should check that out and watch it. I just wanted to quickly do this video because I know that people are not deciding yet, but they're considering different colleges, Brown University possibly being one of them. Specifically for my QuestBridge peers out there who, you know, I'm a QuestBridge scholar. I applied to my schools with the QuestBridge application. If you're not familiar with QuestBridge, QuestBridge basically is a program that connects low-income, high-achieving high school seniors with top colleges all over the United States. Yeah, so I know all of y'all Questies out there, or going to be Questies out there, are submitting their rankings list in like 2 days or so. Basically, the match rankings form thing is what finalists have to submit to show what schools they want to possibly match with and get a full ride to. But that means that people really have to decide what schools they're interested in really early, really soon. And that's why I'm making this video. Woo, thank you. Quick little rundown of the video. First of all, I will be talking about kind of like my thought process and how I kind of led to make the decision to commit to Brown. And then after that, it's going to be mostly like Brown. Like, these are the good things that I saw in Brown, and this is why, essentially why I chose Brown. So I'll probably put timestamps somewhere either on the screen or in the description so you can check those out. And without further ado, let's just get right into it. As I said before, I applied to 26 colleges. I got into 24 of those colleges. Yeah, I'm really grateful for that whole experience and being able to just apply to that many schools, and it was just amazing. Like, I cannot explain or fathom how happy and grateful I am for all of those freaking acceptances. That's crazy. The harder part was, which I'm super fortunate for, was deciding between those colleges. I have a bullet journal. It says 2019 on it, but like, I didn't really use it that much for 2019, so this is like I continued it, you know, 2020, 2025. But I don't even know if you can see this, but I said schools I got into, and you can see I crossed them out. And I said my college checklist right here. Some of that includes academic excellence or challenge, spacious green campus, flexible requirements, music studio or production resources, bubble tea, diversity, somewhat close to home, collaborative and chill, approachable, and a comfortable community. That's basically what I started off doing. I have birds, by the way, so if you hear them chirping, that's them. Making checklists and thinking about each and every school that I got into and thinking, okay, is this a good fit for me? And I ended up narrowing down everything to 3 colleges: Bowdoin College, Harvard College, and Brown University. Harvard University, Harvard College. I applied to Harvard College within Harvard University. And you might be thinking, Jennora, why the heck did you cut out Columbia? Like, why did you cut out University of Chicago? Why did you cut out the University of Pennsylvania? Like, what the frick is wrong with you? Those are amazing schools. Like, why did you not further consider them? And I'm here to tell you that I considered them. But again, it goes back to what school is the best fit for me out of these options. Because I had all of these options, which I'm super grateful for, I was able to kind of make distinctions between them that allowed me to choose the college that I felt more comfortable with. So for instance, I narrowed down Columbia off of it because of one thing, that it's in the city, and I live in New York City. I love New York City, but I do really want to get out of it for my undergraduate education. It has nothing to do really with Columbia itself, except for the core curriculum. I love the core curriculum, but I favor a more open curriculum. If you don't know what that means, basically a core curriculum means that you have general education requirements. The college has general education requirements. You're required to take certain classes in order to graduate, in addition to the classes you have to take for your major. Columbia has a very strong core. I favored more of an open curriculum because I have so many different interests to the point where I feel like I need to direct my own education. For University of Pennsylvania, I felt comfortable going there. I visited UPenn for so many times, but I guess I didn't really feel it. Like, I didn't feel like that was the place for me. Like, it didn't stick out like that was the place for me. Out of my other options. And for UChicago, for instance, there was like a little thing where I just didn't really want to take a plane to UChicago. I didn't want to go too far from home because I didn't feel super comfortable with that. So I was like, maybe not UChicago, because you want to stay close to home, and that's fine. That's a valid factor in my reasoning. Looking at my college checklist, the things that I knew I really like wanted in a college, and even if it was like a tiny thing, like not close to home or not enough flexible requirements for me, those tiny things do matter in my own college experience. So I didn't take that lightly. Like, I took that into consideration, and I narrowed schools down off of my list based on those considerations. So that's how I got to the 3 schools: Bowdoin, Harvard, and Brown. Why Harvard? It was Harvard. Obviously, I was like, oh my god, I got into Harvard. Like, I have to actually genuinely further consider this because this is Harvard, right? Bowdoin, I love Bowdoin so much. Shout out my Explore Bowdoin homies, Mason, Dale, everyone, Alexandra, like everyone from that flying program. I love everyone. I still talk to everyone. Bowdoin is just, it hits different. Like, when you're there, it's such a warm, communal vibe that it's hard to explain. But I had such a great experience at that fly-in that Bowdoin became my number 2 choice just because of the community, the feeling that I got when I was there. And then Brown's my dream school. Period. Point blank, period. And that had a lot to do with aesthetic. I just thought Brown was just a really pretty school in the flyers and stuff. But also, when I began to research, I found a lot of interesting things about Brown that really stuck out to me. Like the open curriculum, right? No general education requirements, so I can take whatever class I'd like in addition to any classes I have to do for my concentration, which is basically a major, but for Brown, they call it concentration. Everything about Brown, like the community, like I felt like Brown was something I needed to further consider. That's basically how I got those 3 choices. Boom. Now, in terms of how I kind of narrowed them down, a quick disclaimer, I am not at all bashing any of these schools. I love all of them. I applied to all of them because I liked each and every one of them. I chose the school I felt most comfortable with, which was Brown. I chose Brown based on my personal fit. And that's really important to distinguish because, yeah, that doesn't mean I hate any of the other colleges or anything like that. I love each and every one of them, and yeah. Okay, so first with Bowdoin. I love Bowdoin. We know this, Jennora, but yes, it's hot, y'all. I'm getting hot in here. I think the one thing that really kind of made me kind of not go to Bowdoin was the location. Bowdoin's in Maine, if you didn't know, and Maine is a very rural area, but that wasn't really a problem to me. For me, it was more so the diversity in Maine. I'm coming from New York City, a place with a lot of urban culture, diversity of experiences, religion, race, everything. Like New York City, oh my god, bird. Everyone's there. The world is in New York City. Well, I feel like I'm exaggerating, but New York City has so many different cultures and races, and I think that was something that became a really key value for me. You do see diversity of experiences, religion on campus, and I definitely saw that when I was there. However, the surrounding area of Maine is not as diverse. I ended up not choosing Bowdoin basically because of diversity factors, but also because I felt like Brown was a better fit for me in other regards. Again, I love Bowdoin so much. Oh my god, that's a mosquito. I'm scared. In terms of Harvard is amazing, obviously. Like, Harvard is renowned. Harvard is the oldest institution, has like great people, amazing intellectuals, and it has a clout, right? Like, it has a lot of recognition and name. Everyone knows Harvard. Like, who's that girl? No, everyone knows Harvard. Basically, what I had to do in order for me to make a decision about Harvard is take away the clout in my head. Like, separate the clout from the school. Like, if Harvard wasn't Harvard. You can get so much from the Harvard clout, but what if I take away that clout? Because clout isn't going to get me anything but instant gratification. What are the things about the college that move me, or that I want to be a part of, or that I personally am attracted to? And so that's when I started thinking it in regards to my college checklist. And that's also when I started doing a pros and cons list of Harvard and all the other schools. I actually have this in my book. I have it in my book. Pros and cons list. There's a strong alumni network. There's more connections for graduate school. It's easier probably to get into Harvard grad school from Harvard undergrad. But like, let me also think about more than just that. Like, what is the school culture like? I know Harvard has a reputation for being elitist, but is it actually elitist? I started talking to students, and a lot of them said it's okay because you can find your niche, you can find your people, you can find a way to not feel that kind of academic pressure or competitive standard. I did the virtual programming for Harvard, which was cool, and I did a lot of research on my own. And I found out that there was a core curriculum, which was not like Columbia's core, but it was like there was a ton of requirements that you have to do for Harvard undergrad. Harvard wasn't a Questbridge school, so they didn't have that Questbridge network that I would have probably made me feel more integrated with just the community, I guess. Like, it would have made me feel more comfortable. The big name and the image and the clout factor does have its negative effects, like Harvard being always in the media, being a tourist attraction where there's a lot of tourists there. I looked at the urban environment, right, that I am kind of trying to get away from, the not New York City vibe, but like Boston and Cambridge is like New York City light. So I was like, I looked at all of those factors, and when I looked at Harvard without the clout, I looked at it for the school that it was, and for me, I didn't feel as moved as I felt when I thought of Brown. And that was a signal for me to know that I should commit to Brown. I realized that, I probably wouldn't feel as comfortable at Harvard as I would feel at Brown. And that leads me to why ultimately Brown was the choice for me, and I chose to commit there. So for one, Brown, again, it's just a basic check off of everything I wanted in this school. It had an open curriculum, right? No general education requirements. I can choose whatever class I want to take it. Decently kind of small, on the smaller end of school, I think around 8,000-ish students. So I still had that small environment that I had in high school, kind of. So that was also a plus. Not New York City like. It was a very comfortable, chill community vibe. Brown does have a very big reputation on being a chill school. It can be stressful, right? It's an Ivy League school. Amazing professors, but again, it's very academically rigorous, but a lot of students are willing to help each other out, and that's also something that I've been seeing in my Zoom calls. It was also close to home, close to New York City, right? I can take a train. I also want to make a point that financial aid was also a big factor in this decision. I got good financial aid packages from pretty much almost every college, but there were slight differences. So that's also what led me to choose to not further consider certain colleges. Brown gave me the best financial aid, so that was also a big part. Something really special and unique about Brown is the fact that they have a really huge emphasis on intellectual curiosity, on learning for the sake of learning, right? You can see that not only through the open curriculum, where you can take classes just for fun or just because you are interested genuinely in those courses, but you can see that in the way they grade, or the way they look at classes. For instance, if you get a lower than a C, I think they don't give out D's, but if you fail a course, it's not on your records or transcript. They erase that off your transcript, for one. Two, you can take any class pass fail, which means if you're kind of I don't know if I'm gonna get a good grade in this class, or I just want to take it just because I'm interested in it and I don't want to get a grade for this class, you can take it pass fail, and you could either pass or fail it. They don't calculate GPAs. I mean, you can self-calculate it if you like need it, but Brown itself doesn't calculate GPAs. So that also kind of shows kind of like a less emphasis on grading. That goes to show the fact that Brown really does care a lot about you learning because you want to learn and not because of a grade holding you back. Obviously, that doesn't mean that Brown students aren't stressed or want good grades. Like, Brown students want good grades, and that is definitely a factor. But I feel like that kind of what Brown does in terms of grading kind of shows that there is more of an emphasis on kind of learning and education being good for you, and you kind of directing that in the way that is best. That's something that I really love about Brown, and I think the open curriculum itself brings a different energy to certain classrooms. This is something like a student, my friend, told me, you'll be in a class with people who genuinely want to take that class. Like, you're gonna have a different energy in the classroom, a more motivated energy where everyone wants to learn, right, from this class, because everyone, one, chose this class, unless it was like your major requirement, but usually people like their major. Brown has something called shopping period. You can kind of test your waters and look at different classes and find the class that you really want to take and make sure that that's the class you want to take. So we have shopping period. So they shopped the class. They made sure it was something that they wanted to take, and they chose it. That shows that, like, they really want to be there in the class, and that changes the dynamics in the class where it feels like everyone really wants to be present, and that automatically kind of gives you a more deep and innovative and transformative learning experience. And it's also the fact that the open curriculum like brings together people that have so many different amazing interests. I'm currently taking a course called Black Poetics with an amazing professor, and I love it so much, and I can genuinely feel the energy radiating from my freaking Zoom screen. It seems like everyone is so motivated to be there, and I feel that definitely. Also, I really wanted a campus that has like real grass. I know, like, I'm from New York City, and New York City has real grass, but I just wanted a really nice expansive area of grass, and Brown has that, so I was like, lit. Brown does have a lot of resources and opportunities, and the open curriculum, like, they have people to help you navigate it. I have someone called a Micklejohn, a peer advisor, and also just an advisor, an adult advisor, a faculty member. There's also the BCSC, the Brown Center for Students of Color, that I've been attending a lot of events and feeling really comfortable in. There's the UFly Center, undocumented First Gen Low Income Center. Anyone who fits under that umbrella in any way can come and hang out. I've also been attending those sessions that are really helpful. There's also the Cyril Doyle Woman and Gender Center. There's a lot of different resources that can help you get acquainted into the community if you fall under any sort of marginalized identity. Something that really pushed me to choose Brown was when I was emailed by Black alumni when I got accepted into Brown. And they hosted a Zoom call and just talked about Brown, answering questions and talking about how passionate they were. And as a Black person, you can navigate that space and feel worthy and be there and be present and be happy there. And I remember I low-key cried, teared up during that, because that was when I really figured out for myself, yeah, this is where I want to go. The last thing I really want to say about Brown is the fact that, I think every single student loves Brown. I've heard this from so many people. A current student just asking questions, answering questions. I remember he said that everyone he's met loves Brown. Students are always keeping, obviously, Brown students, Brown faculty accountable. Every university has its faults. And there are things that you can find at private institutions like Brown that you can't sugarcoat, right? But it's the fact that students still have so much love for Brown. And I remember I went to a club fair, virtually, for Brown, and one student we were talking about a dance. He was just like, you can always just ask me any questions that you want, anything about Brown. Every student here loves Brown. The same phrase literally repeated multiple times. I think also in the club fair, something that stuck out to me is that literally every single club was just like, oh, if you have any questions about Brown as well, we're welcome to answer them. I don't know, it just felt so welcoming. Even just through visual, like virtual Zoom University, I still feel super welcome. So I think Brown's community is really amazing and diverse. Yeah, so that's basically why I chose Brown. There's obviously some other factors I feel like I might not have gotten to about other things that I like a lot about Brown, because Brown is just amazing. There's so many organizations and just things that you can do under Brown. It's crazy. Like, there's so many opportunities. One of my favorite writers, her name is Adrienne Marie Brown. She's but through a Zoom call, she's coming to Brown to talk about, I don't know what she's going to be talking about, but she's going to talk about stuff, and that's amazing. They're also, like, ranked #1 in undergraduate teaching, I'm pretty sure. So, thank you for sticking with me throughout this video. I love my choice, and I love all of the other schools I applied to, and I hope this video helped any of you who are kind of thinking about certain colleges. And make sure to do your own personal research, see how you personally feel, because this video is definitely specific to me and how I felt about Brown and how I felt about other colleges in terms of what they would offer me and what I was looking for. So make sure that you are tailoring everything to your benefit and to who you are as a person and how you will feel most comfortable at your new college home. Let me know if you have any other video ideas for me to do. Hope y'all all get finalists. Hope y'all all get into colleges regardless if you're a Questbridge scholar or not. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have the best college season ever, and I'll be back with more videos.